Hello everyone, welcome to the Opposite Field Outlook. We are starting the MLB postseason. The last day was yesterday. I watched the final out. It's going to be a good playoff year. Let's go. I'm Jack. I almost forgot how we do every single episode. That's Andrew, and that's Neil. Neil, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. You know how it goes. It's Thursday, my guys, and it's chest day. Came off a really good chest day. Good pump. But you know what I'm pumped for more? Postseason baseball. It's coming up. I'm hyped. Rooting for my Doyers. I don't even know what else do I have going on. I'm like, normal college shit, but that's kind of it. Pretty simple day. Oh, yesterday I went to see Hamilton. That was pretty cool. Saw Segerstrom. So.
Flash.
Yeah, I think they brought him back for this one play or
That's
musical.
sick.
That's
Pretty
sick.
dope. It was really good. Gotta say, I saw it on
Musicals are
Disney.
good.
Saw it on Disney Plus, but this was different. It was live.
Yeah, it's way
Uh,
different in person. It's
yeah,
not even close.
it's like loud. You like feel the music, kind of. You know how it is. So yeah, that was kind of my week. Not much going on around that.
Andrew, how are you doing?
Doing good.
Are you actually
Colorado's
doing
fun.
good, or are you just saying that because we're on a podcast right now?
Okay. Let me give you a little bit of an update.
Jack, you just unleashed Pandora's box. God
Yeah,
damn.
you literally just exposed me there. Went to a couple more bars. Fucking love it here, dude. It's chill as shit out here,
Wow,
dude.
that's actually
Come out
really
here, bro.
crazy because literally 1 week ago you said you were actually in hell. You said Ohio was actually hell. Like
I'm
you were
telling
in
you, it's a
Dante's
week-by-week
Inferno
basis,
last
you don't,
week.
you don't know what you're gonna get,
Okay.
but it's fun as hell out here. I'm gonna be going into the press box for football this Saturday against Kent State. Big fucking game right there. Uh, Potentially could determine if we're gonna make a bowl or not, which we should be able to win. Other than that,
I blew a lot.
While that
yeah,
is a big game,
Kent State,
there's
yeah.
no bigger
Right.
game than the Jayhawks game this Saturday.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
tune into ESPN. We will be on College Game Day for the first
Is
time
it on?
ever.
Is it on the flagship ESPN or
I
what?
think it's on
ESPN one.
ESPN One. I think it's on
Okay.
their main thing. It's
Jack, you got to
College
bring the
Game Day. I
podcast.
mean,
You got to bring the podcast to College Game Day.
Do a vlog, Jack.
I would love to do that. Unfortunately, they will literally kick me out of band, so
Damn.
can't really do that.
Just act like you're talking to yourself.
Jack's gone insane.
Yeah.
Anything else interesting going on? Because I totally interrupted you because I wanted to boast about the Jayhawks.
Yeah, keep going, keep going. I don't think so. I'm ready to watch the Dodgers dominate. And I know a shit ton of Mets fans at my school, so I'm ready to see them start crying because that's what happens with the Mets. So it'll
Do
be
you
fun.
guys remember Austin from middle school? I don't.
Luke, Austin Luke.
Yeah, he was a Mets fan. He always harassed
What?
me.
Really?
Yeah, because
Well-
they lost in the World Series to the Royals once upon a time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was mad about that for like 4 years. It was
I thought he was like a
ridiculous.
Dodgers fan or something.
Some people just don't get over things, you know what I'm
I
saying?
know. It's wild. Just like Dodgers fans and the Astros.
That's what I was referencing.
The postseason is starting. It's going to be hype. And since we're doing this episode after the regular season is over, obviously, all the teams have clinched their playoff berths. And we would have had a 163. I'm thoroughly disappointed. The
Whoa.
Braves and the Mets ended the season with
Oh.
the exact same record.
That's so annoying.
They both won 101 games. Can you imagine 163 between those teams?
No way. That
Would have been electric.
So good.
Would have been
Literally.
incredibly good for the
Good
game
stuff.
of baseball.
That would have been their playoff, and then they would have had to like actually play in the playoffs.
It would have, yeah. So I
That's
mean,
crazy. I did not know that.
I would have loved to see that. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I have a lot of stuff to do, and I'm going back to California.
Oh,
Welcome back home, Jack.
God.
We have fall break, so I have Monday and Tuesday off. So after the football game, and by after the football game, I actually mean Sunday morning, I will be flying into LAX. We love LAX, full of surprises. And then I come back on Tuesday, and I get back to Lawrence at probably like 12:30, which is not ideal,
That sucks.
but it's worth it.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
No.
Oh, my God.
let's move into the baseball. What are you watching?
Broncos Colts.
I forgot that it's
Ooh.
Thursday and there's Thursday night football.
Yep.
Who watches Broncos Colts?
Who watches Thursday night football on Amazon Prime?
I'm not even watching it on Prime. I'm watching it
Get my
on the League
popcorn
Blitz.
and
So
gonna watch the Tigers versus the A's right now. Like,
We
who are you?
love pirating. We love pirating. Pirating is
we
great.
really do.
I love Pirates.
Also,
Anyway, we got a couple of series to talk about. A couple of interesting things happened. We're just gonna do a little minor, not really a recap, even just a little talk about some things.
Little talk.
But I'm gonna put on the recap music because I like it, and I'm also gonna make new music for next season.
garage band type beat.
Yeah, it'll be a little better because I'm gonna use FL Studio instead.
Oh! Wow.
Bro, my guy's
Anyway.
watching the Colts game right now.
Andrew's
and he's
pretending to like the Colts right now.
No, dude, I have Russell Wilson on my fantasy team.
Fantasy. Yeah, probably should have
I
figured
mean,
that
I'll watch
out.
football regardless. But anyways, this is a baseball podcast.
This is
Got-
baseball
Let's
podcast.
talk baseball.
Let's talk some baseball. This is really loud. The Mets visited the Braves for what turns out would be the deciding series on who would win the division. Well, it wasn't actually, but it basically was because they both played horrible teams
Jack.
after that. What's up?
Your thing is covering your face. There you go.
Yeah, you're the only one that can see that.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. Anyways.
Thanks for interrupting the podcast, Andrew.
Boo.
This is all
All right, let's try again.
like I know that you can see it blocking my face, but no one else can.
Just wanted to make sure, you know.
Okay.
You never know.
Okay. Good job, Andrew. Anyway, the Mets visited the Braves for what would be the deciding series. It wouldn't actually be the deciding series, but they both played horrible teams after that. And the Braves swept. The series wasn't even close. The Mets pitching kind of... Yeah. I don't really know what's going on. Their elite starters are not looking so elite. Jacob deGrom in the first game pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs off of 3 home runs. Still got 11 strikeouts though, so that's pretty good. That's kind of what Jacob deGrom does. Max Scherzer only went 5 2/3 innings in the second game. He picked up 4 earned runs and 4 strikeouts. That was 2 home runs. And he also gave up 9 hits. That's not really what you like to see as a Mets team going into the playoffs. And in the final game, their number 3 starter, Chris Bassett, only pitched 2 2/3 innings, 4 earned runs. That's tough. A lot of work for the bullpen, especially leading into a critical series where they would play, I think they played the Nationals, if I'm not mistaken, or the Braves played the Nationals. Kind of forget. Oh, they played the Nationals. And you want the bullpen to be rested because you only have 1 day off before the wild cards series starts, and that starts tomorrow.
Baby.
Hopefully the Mets pick it up a little bit because I would love to see the Mets beat the Dodgers in the postseason.
That's funny.
The Nationals visited the Mets, and the Mets did a little bit better. They swept that series. Things just looked a little more organized. The pitching could have done a little better still. Nothing over 5 innings for the Mets. And their last day was a bullpen day, which you really do not like to see for a team that's leading into the postseason. Something crazy just happened in Thursday Night Football. But the Mets still pulled off the sweep of the Nationals. That was not enough as the Braves won a single game against their opponent, the Marlins, and that was all it took for them to tie. All the Braves needed was a tie. This is just like the last game of last year's NFL regular season where all they have to do is tie. A tie is a win, but they win the division because there is no more 163. Something I'm very sad about, and I'm sure everyone else is. It's kind of bad for baseball. And that concludes my little recap of nice clown moment indeed. That concludes my little recap of the Mets and the Braves.
Nice.
Mets look ice cold, and they're heading into a Padres series, which is crazy because the Padres look ice cold right now. Juan Soto's not really doing anything.
Nope.
Josh Bell's not really doing anything.
Nope.
I mean, that series, there might be like 10 hits in one game for both teams that results in 0 runs, and then the next game will be 0 hit. It's really just, will the Mets pitchers get good? And if the Mets pitchers just go back to how they've been playing all season, the Mets will win that series easy, and it's not even going to be close.
It will go like that. Yeah, it's gonna be out of who's coldest, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Really, and
Very true.
I mean, as a fan, like as a Mets fan, I'm not a Mets fan. I'm saying if I was a Mets fan, I would never be a Mets fan. If I was a Mets fan, I would hope that they use the Padres series as an opportunity to heat up a little bit. I mean, the bats have been doing fine for the Mets. You kind of hope that the pitching finds their groove again going into their series against the Dodgers. And if you're the Padres, you kind of hope that Juan Soto starts to hit the baseball again from time to time. And if he gets out of that little slump, and if Josh Bell gets out of that little slump, either opponent could be a little scary for the Dodgers, depending on how hot they get and how cold the Dodgers get. Because they have, 5 days off? That's tough for any team.
Yeah, they don't play till next Tuesday.
That's kind of tough.
Yeah. But here's the thing also. Dodgers, they're a little injured, so leaves us some time to get our guys. Dustin May is coming back. Blake, Daddy Trinan is coming back. Rios is coming back. Chris Taylor's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you,
Doesn't Chris Taylor
there's a team who needs
lead?
the rest. It's the Dodgers.
Doesn't Chris Taylor lead baseball in strikeouts per whatever? Doesn't he have hella strikeouts?
But he's a good defensive.
Yeah, and he kind of goes off
is a
during the
good
playoffs.
That's kind of what.
Yeah, historically has been good in playoffs.
We don't really need the batting. Obviously, you need batting, but not as much as other teams.
Yeah, the Dodgers don't really need the bats because
they're not in need of it, you know.
Him and Joey Gallo. The only reason why they're on the roster really is for defensive.
Which is insane to me that the Dodgers are good enough that they can literally just throw a bat in the trash.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Although if the Dodgers lose, they will never hear the end of it this season. Is May coming back in time for the next series? Will he be here for the DS?
That's what they're saying.
He pitched yesterday.
Are they trying to build him up?
Not in the game, but
No, I think he's a reliever role.
Yeah.
And then they're hoping for him to be a starter next season. Is that?
And Heaney's in the reliever role.
That kind of makes sense.
I think they're also talking about putting Gonsolin at reliever, which I would honestly be down.
That makes sense.
Our bullpen sucks, so we're just making all the starters bullpens.
Yeah.
So it's good.
We have way too many arms. So.
Yeah.
And they're all really good options.
Honestly, Kimbrel shouldn't make the postseason roster.
I don't think let's DFA him, bro. Right before the postseason.
Honestly, dude, it's gonna be an Adrian Gonzalez moment. Hey, sorry, you're not on the roster. See you later.
Sorry, buddy.
Has Kimbrel
Thought
been?
you were gonna get a free ring.
Has he been doing anything?
What's that?
Has he been put in the games in non-closing situations?
I think I saw one.
Yeah. He's done all right when he's not closing. I think yesterday he closed right and then he struck out the side or something.
I didn't watch yesterday, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was also against the Rockies.
Oh, so. Jack, you still didn't fix the episode number.
Oh no, not bad.
I just realized we're still in episode 21.
I forgot about that when my computer auto-connected to my phone hotspot and broke the...
We are naming the episode live right now, guys.
Okay, there we go. Things are better now.
Oh.
Now I have to choose a thumbnail from this video that says episode 22 because that is mad embarrassing.
But to the original subject, yeah, I think the Mets, like basically whoever like ends that Mets Padres series will like kind of gain some steam, and I think they'll be ready to face the NLDS, whoever it is. Like they won't, whoever wins, they won't be cold by the time they move on. You know what I'm saying?
It is kind of possible. Like, if a team gets 2 lucky wins, if the Padres get like, I don't know, if Manny Machado hits a solo home run in the first game, and that's the only run all game, that's the only hit all game, and then the same thing happens again, like, the Padres are still cold. Manny Machado just happened to hit 2 home runs because he's, like, maybe the best third baseman in the National League right now, depending on who you ask. So
That's a weird way to say Max Muncy, but continue.
you know what I mean. I said depending on who you ask. I didn't make a claim there.
That could happen.
There are definitely some people who would say that Manny Machado is the best third baseman in the National League.
Yeah.
I would personally say that
You got a point.
Anthony Rendon is the best third baseman in MLB right now because he's been playing a little. He's been playing 2 games at the end of the
He's
season.
been playing pretty good recently.
Yeah. Anyway, that series should be interesting.
You know what I don't get though?
What?
Like the whole bracket makes sense up until you see that like that someone who could win the division could still be in the wild card, you know?
Yeah, no, that's why I hate this new play. Like, cool,
Little
you
dumb.
added more teams, but like it doesn't make sense. Kind of
Yeah.
ruins the old playoff format. Like I've been saying all season, kind of stokes those rivalries, right? You want to win your division to secure a playoff spot, and you don't have to play in those stupid wild card matchups. But that doesn't apply anymore.
Like whoever wins 2 games instantly just bye. There you go.
Yeah, if you're in the Central in either league, if you're in the Central, it doesn't even matter if you win the division because you're still gonna have to play the wild card game.
Yeah, exactly.
If the Brewers made it literally does not matter that they lost the division because they would have just been in the playoffs all the same.
Yep. So
Big
I don't know. I
mystery
thought
to
that
me.
was just weird. I think what they should do, if they're gonna keep expanding the playoffs, they might as well just make it 14 teams, and then just make it the extra wild card there. You know, like 2, like this. These are just wild cards, and then these are just wild cards, and then those go.
That's
You know,
interesting.
just so that way it's just wild cards who are playing wild cards, like not division leaders playing wild cards. Like that's just, I don't get that. If you're gonna expand the playoffs, might as well just do that. I preferably just don't do it this way at all. But, like,
It's
I don't know.
also
I don't know if
really
this is-
strange to me that 2 teams from the same division can play in a wild card round.
yeah, that could happen.
They can play each other, which I guess could have happened last time.
That could have still happened.
Still really just odd to me. Like there was a race that came down to the Phillies winning a couple of games at the end of the season, and the Brewers were gonna take over their place. If the Brewers had taken over the Phillies' place, it would have been a Cardinals-Brewers series to see who plays the Braves. Which
Weird.
is
It's also kind of cool. Like, let's say the Dodgers are a wild card team. You play, I don't know, like the Padres, and then like let's
the
say the
wild
Giants
card as
win
well.
that division. So it's kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
I guess you can get a lot of interdivision playoff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
especially with the 3 wildcard teams.
Definitely
That's
could be a
more
good thing.
chances for 2 teams, 3 teams from the same division.
Speaking of the Brewers, should I bring that up?
I don't know what you're talking about at the moment.
That's what I was assigned to talk about, so I thought maybe I could get into that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just a sign topic.
That was my
I
assigned.
thought you were gonna say something like, "Oh, the Brewers fired their manager." Like drop a big piece of news that I didn't hear about. Anyway, here you go.
Alright, so I'm not gonna get into it game by game because that's boring. Kind of just gonna give it a story-esque. So basically, it breaks down to this: you got the Brewers and the Phillies, and they got this 3rd spot. The Brewers really want it, but the Phillies are kind of holding on strong, and they kind of slump a little bit. And it kind of comes down to the last 2 series. So the Phillies come into it, And everyone's kind of, in my opinion, with coming into the Astros, that's quite a tough matchup. So I was expecting maybe a bit of a shakeup or some rumbling to happen over there. But it was kind of close though because their magic number was already pretty much at 1 at that point. And it was at 1 because the Brewers faced the Marlins a little before this, and they had a 4-game series, and they kind of blew it considering they only won 1 of 4. So in my opinion, and not even my opinion, factual, like if they won that series, if that's the only thing you change and they win the Marlins series, they probably would win the division. If they swept the Marlins, the 3 or 4. So it came down kind of to the wire. It basically just came to a stumble of the Marlins pitchers kind of giving the Brewers a run for the money, the players, and kind of costed them a postseason. So yeah, they kind of hit a brick wall with a decent pitching staff. The Phillies were able to continue their baseball, continue hitting absolute ding-dongs, and they basically just needed 1 game. So once they won that 1 game, they kind of secured their spot. Not much exciting because everyone kind of expected the Phillies to kind of take that spot. They were already in there. No one expected the Brewers to kind of be upset and overcome that.
I expected the Brewers to be a contender for the division.
I did not. I was saying it from the beginning, the second half. I was telling everyone. No one believed me, but most people did not.
I mean, at the second half, it was clear. Anyway, continue.
I guess you could say that. But the Phillies, they clinched their spot. They break a drought. I forget how long it was. I think it was a decade. 11 years. Yeah. So they break their drought. Bryce Harper making the postseason. That's cool for him. Good that he's healthy. And that kind of sums it up. Yeah, it just came down to 1 series with the Marlins. The Marlins kind of overcame the Brewers with. That kind of determined the outcome of the 3rd wild card in the NL.
And with the Phillies and the Mariners clinching, the Angels have the longest playoff drought in MLB. I think they're tied with the Tigers right now.
Yeah.
And then shortly after
Tigers are going to be back with the Angels.
Shortly after that are my Royals. This guy was there for the last Royals postseason, and it's not looking like he's going to be there for the next one.
Actually got it rough right now. Both of his teams are just not there, non-existent.
Literally, like the worst place you can be.
It's
Wait, when were the Royals last in the playoffs? 2016?
2015. They won the World Series and have not made it back since.
That's tough.
It is a little tough.
And the Angels are 2014.
And they got swept by the Royals.
2014? I was learning to write in 2014.
Actually, we were all in 4th grade.
Yeah.
No way.
We were all in
Royals
4th
won.
grade.
Oh my god, you're joking.
I'm not joking. I wasn't even at
still
Sarah.
remember the
I wanna go
last
back
out the
to
Giants
4th grade.
made.
I didn't know you guys in 2014.
Yeah, I didn't know you.
Oh, dude, you weren't included then. Holy
Nope.
crap. That's
Not
crazy.
there. Last time the Angels made the playoffs, I didn't know you guys existed.
Andrew and I
literally.
have been pals since 2011. 2010, so we're chilling.
You're chilling with the Phillies drought.
Yeah, except that's over now, so.
Yeah, that ended.
Imagine the Phillies didn't make the playoffs this year. What do you think happens?
I don't know.
They continue
I think their
to
owner gets fired if they don't, like...
Really?
Like, the expectations were high enough that I think everybody in the organization gets cleaned out.
Fair enough. I mean, they did kind of, like, do a lot in the trade deadline and signed a lot in the offseason.
Yeah.
And they went for a whole new strategy.
The trade deadline.
Uh-huh. When they got Brandon Marsh.
Yeah.
At the final out.
They went defensive-oriented for the first time in their lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, let me tell you, I sure do love being an Angels fan.
You both have moments like that. I just got the Matt Beatty signature.
Yep.
Bro, that was less than a week. It was less than a
It was
week.
like 3 days later.
Yeah, literally.
If there was someone that the Angels were going to trade, there was no way in hell it was going to be Brandon Marsh. Like, if we're looking to rebuild, you keep the young talent. Brandon Marsh literally had 6 more years of control. I was mystified.
How old is he right now?
I don't know.
Like 24?
22.
It's funny, though. What are you going to do, you know?
Marsh
Yeah.
is 24.
Damn.
So they have him until he's 30. That's crazy.
Angels got to do something different.
Or just
That's a whole
restart
other
Sell the
franchise.
team.
I think, yeah, you sell the team.
This team is being sold, so we're already exploring that option.
They need to just start from square one. Like, build a farm system.
If
Because it's
you-
non-existent at the moment.
If you guys want to see something really crazy, I'm not necessarily talking to you two because you two have probably already seen this already, but you can go to Talkin' Baseball on Instagram and they posted like the divisional races timeline. So like the little icons of the teams were there, and so it was like the Angels and the Astros, and then you get like a quarter of the way through the season, and then the Angels just go all the way to the very bottom, below the Rangers.
Yep, that did happen.
That was honestly surreal. Didn't feel real. Still doesn't feel real that we lost.
They
14 games
mimicked
in a
like
row.
a freaking graph of like something falling off a table, like an upside down
Actually.
quadratic.
It's the
I wish I understood what that was, but
bro. You don't know what
I
a
think I get it.
quadratic is.
Were you not there for x squared? Like,
Yeah, still not really following, but I think I understand where you're going.
yeah, I think you get it.
Speaking of the Angels, the Athletic has assigned a beat writer to the Angels. His name is Sam Blum. I follow him on Twitter because he gets those juicy updates live as they come out. He's like the Jeff Passan of the Angels, which must be a really sad job now that I think about it. But,
Breaking news: Shohei traded.
yeah, he does a good job. Oh, we signed Otani to a 1-year, $30 million contract to avoid arbitration.
Yep,
So that's cool.
it will be double that in free agency.
I'm fine with that. That's acceptable. Albert Pujols has a 10-year personal services contract with the Angels for after he retires.
What does that mean?
It means that I don't know. I don't really know what a personal services
So like watch
contract
the
is.
feet
Oh my
of the
God.
players.
But
and shit? Like,
I think it means he has to be like a manager or like a. That's the vibe
No,
that
it
I'm
doesn't. You're
no
lying.
way.
getting. Okay, Perry, our GM, commented on it. He said, "I think it would be a great asset for myself to have in this organization." So
No
Perry
way.
wants to bring Albert to
Oh,
Anaheim.
Can we get the
as a
new
I
manager?
thought you were actually like,
But
As
we
the
already
manager?
have a manager. We signed someone.
or
we
pay
signed-
him to be your mascot because the Angels don't have a mascot. I'm
The
pretty sure
Pujolses
most
of
mascots
Anaheim.
T.O.
don't get paid.
Albert, but no one called him T.O. Albert in Anaheim, so we'll just steal that name.
Yeah, literally.
Just stands on the dugout. Yeah,
The
guys.
Anaheim Alberts. Yeah.
Nah, we'll have him be our
Come on,
pitching
guys,
coach so he
let's
can make
go.
more bullpen calls, you know?
Can you be a pitching coach? Or, like,
Pitching coach.
can we have him like just
Or
on the
maybe he
dugout
should be like a
cheering?
farm director or something.
Ooh.
that might be the way to go, actually.
Okay, they need to get a farm before they get the director, but that'd be.
He has, like, probably the most experience out of the guys, like, on the market.
I'd be so happy to be drafted by the Angels and have Pujols as my farm director.
Literally, he's like, pack your
Uh,
bags, you're moving up. Like,
this contract is voidable by Pujols.
unfortunately,
so if he
Mike
doesn't feel
Trout,
like it, he doesn't have
you're
to.
moved down to AAA Salt Lake.
Wait, the contract's
Yeah.
It's voidable by Albert. If he doesn't want to come back, he doesn't have to.
Don't do that.
But-
Don't do that.
I don't.
What's the point?
I don't really know. Like,
Wait, so
gonna
does he
say
still
no.
get his money?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He never got paid this whole time.
I think-
Anaheim.
I think he gets paid extra money.
Oh, okay.
I would bet that when he signed his contract with the Angels, it said something like,
Dude,
"And
you know
if
what
you
he
want
should
to,
do?
you can come back for 10 years."
He
It was
should
like,
broadcast.
That would be interesting.
Like a Hispanic broadcast, that would be good.
I guess he could do that too, yeah.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
take Jaime Harin's job.
we put Albert in charge of rebuilding our farm system.
I would actually think that would work. Like, because the Angels have nothing, so might as well get Albert in there.
Or another thing that I could see happening, he joins the MLB on Fox crew for next year's like
That would be
postseason
cool.
or something.
I'd enjoy that.
Ooh, like
Or
Big
ESPN.
Poppy and all them.
Mm-hmm.
They have a yeah.
Dude, that would like be the last Infinity Stone. Like, that would complete the gang.
Yeah, literally.
Big Poppy, A-Rod, Albert Pujols, like all the greats.
In other news, this week, Aaron Judge broke the American League home run record and now has the most single-season home runs of any player that was not using performance-enhancing drugs. That's correct, right? I didn't make that stat up.
My MLB The Show player has more.
That's correct.
But go on.
You should tell that to Talking Baseball, see if they make a post.
About the show player.
Yeah, just to
He
see
hit
if-
145 home runs
Oh,
in one season.
and he was on
Using
PEDs.
PEDs, I promise.
No PEDs, no
No
roids.
PEDs.
Oh,
As far
okay.
as I know.
I think Andrew added a take PEDs option in his MLB The Show Let's Play.
I simmed to the very end. He had like 1,400 home runs. He doubled our pool.
For every one home run Pulis hit, he
Yeah.
hit 2.
That's like
I think I had like 100, like a crazy amount of like multi-home run games.
Wait,
I
so
had.
that means he hit like 700 and he's like 30 years old.
Yeah, basically.
That's like
I
my
Which
pitcher.
I shattered.
He
I
almost
won
hits a
Triple Crown
100
like every year.
You hit the single season record, but like every year.
Yeah, basically. I looked at
Wow.
like top 10 every year was me. So yeah.
My MLB The Show pitcher is career ERA after like 10 years is like 1. It's actually unfair. Anyway, the Yankees are going to the playoffs and they're gonna get beat by the Astros in the CS, and it's
Ooh, hot take.
I don't think that's a hot take. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's
Hot take
chalk.
for Yankees fans, and that's literally it.
Yeah, the Yankees fans might cry a little bit, but
Mm-hmm. No, I think I think it's gonna be like they're gonna get a run for their money though. Like I think the Yankees with Aaron Judge are going to like win like maybe 2 games or something. But I think the Astros will
they'll
come
have some
on top.
games. The Astros just have a way. Although the Yankees did have a higher run differential than the Astros, which might be
Yeah,
interesting.
I just think that the Yankees like pitching won't hold up against that really good Astros lineup. You know,
The pitching is a little inconsistent.
like the Yankees. Yeah, it's just not the
I
best.
think there's gonna be one upset. So, and out of like the top seeds, it could definitely be the
I
Yankees.
think the upset is going to be the Mariners winning a lot,
Really? That's an interesting take.
right? Like think
And
about that.
That's a
It
take.
makes a lot of sense too. Like they have the pitchers. They
I'm
have the
not
bat-
believing it right now, but if I had to pick an upset, I feel like it's them.
I have them winning against the Blue Jays, but in the next round they play the Astros.
Yeah, maybe they beat the Blue Jays. I think that's the upset if I had to pick it.
I wonder
Like, the only one.
what the Mariners look like against the Astros this season. Because I didn't really look into that. I kind of just
I
assumed
think-
that the Astros were better than them, which I think.
What do you guys
is true,
think about
but
Rays and Cleveland? Like, do you think it's Rays all the way?
What's that?
I think
What do you like
Rays.
between Rays and Cleveland in 3? What do you think?
I have Rays over Cleveland in 3.
Because they're both like,
I
I think the Rays are better.
Yeah.
Cleveland's a little hot. I don't know, man.
Here's the thing. I think Cleveland like just barely edges them out.
Just
Like,
like
Those
just
two
barely,
teams
like
are
the last
really-
game.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like last game, extras, wherever in Cleveland. That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
The season series between the Astros and the Mariners is 12 games for the Astros, 7 games for the Mariners.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it over the Astros, but I think they beat the Blue Jays. I think there will be an upset there, and everyone's gonna be like, "How did that happen?"
Yeah, I think it's clear that they'll beat the Blue Jays. I mean, the Blue Jays are good and they got depth and everything, but like one of their main starters is Barrios, and his ERA this season is over 5. Like when you go onto the pitching leader category, there's not that many pitchers that qualify. Barrios is one of the pitchers that qualifies, and his ERA is over 5. So the Blue Jays are leaning on him quite a bit, and he's just bad.
Yeah, he's terrible. I picked him up, and I like basically prayed to the baseball gods that he'd just turn it around, and he never did. Yeah, Gavin actually psyched me out. I was about to trade him away to you, and then stupid Gavin talked me out of it, and I put in one of my other better pitchers, so that sucked. But nonetheless, fantasy. I think that team just like they have a good offense. The pitching's fine though. Like
My pitching was amazing.
Kikuchi was overhyped. That man's just a freaking like he's like a little poo poo pitcher. Like Heaney back then. Like just like some dude who floats around and somehow makes money. It's like how are you doing that? You're stealing people's money by being mid. And then like Ryu's just not that great. He had one
He
magical
got hurt.
season. Yeah, that guy just sucks. And then Barrios, like, what are you doing? The bullpen is known for like nothing, and the offense is good, but like, like it's just not there. The whole package, and I think that they could get upset if like a more well-rounded team like meets them, like the Mariners. You
Mariners
know,
are playing weird baseball though.
they have, and that's
Yeah.
like that's what makes it really confusing because I don't know what's going on with that team.
The
And they
Mariners
don't get a
starting
break.
pitching is for sure better. That's the thing.
Yeah,
And
Mariners are
you need
7-3 in
starters
their
to
last
play.
10, so they're not like choking. They're not looking like the Mets right now.
Yeah, like they're winning some series, but like it's weird because I feel like they're not winning the ones they should.
They
You know what
won
I'm
all
saying?
their season. Remember last episode we were talking about, oh, they've lost all these series against these terrible teams. Since that day, they've won every single series. So they've won
Okay.
all three of their last. They
Well, I mean,
won
I don't
two
know.
of three against the Rangers, 2 of 3 against the A's, and 3 of 4 against the Tigers. So
I feel like I feel like they're a more well-rounded team, and that a more well-rounded team could beat like a front-heavy, lineup-heavy team like the Blue Jays.
yeah, I have
Yeah.
that as well.
Don't think they got it. So I think it's an upset because most people would probably pick the Blue Jays
I also
in
think
terms
the
of just
Blue
ranking.
Jays 4-man outfield is stupid, and they deserve to lose because they do the 4-man outfield.
Do they consistently do that?
Yeah, it's like the Blue
Dang,
Jays thing. They just do that all the time.
that makes no sense.
When the Angels swept them, um, I was like, I was watching all the games, of course, because I'm an Angels fan and I enjoy suffering. But 4-man outfield doesn't do anything. Like, their outfielders are not good defensively. So if a
Mhm.
ball comes close to the wall, it doesn't matter. The ball drops in for a double. Like
Yeah,
what would be a double anyway is still just a double, and now you just have less infielders, which means more singles. I don't know. They
yeah.
must have some
I
analytics on it, but no other team does it.
That's a little
maybe it's just because their outfield's that bad that it just benefits them to have another one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it looks like a double, but it would be a triple because their defense is so bad.
Yeah, like it just would
Huh.
be even worse, but now it's like, okay, well, at least it was a double.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
that series is gonna come down because the Blue Jays they have the better bats,
Yes.
yes,
but
no
and
doubt.
the Mariners they have the better pitchers, so it's gonna come
Yeah.
down to
I mean,
who's
I think
better.
it comes down to are the Mariners hitting. I think that's really
hmm
the thing. And if the
If the bats
Mariners
get hot,
hit, they win.
yeah.
They don't even have
Mm.
to be hot. They just have to get a few hits every
Gotta
game.
hit.
They just need to score runs, so
I think if they
string some
put
hits together.
3 across, they'll win the series. If they put 3 across every game, they'll win the series.
Every game.
hmm
Okay,
9 total runs.
let's go through in order. So Tampa Bay, Cleveland. What do you have?
I have Tampa Bay. Like that team's just too like they're like sniffing
In
some weird magic powder. They just win a lot.
in 2 games or 3?
Uh, uh, I think 3.
How about you,
I think
Andrew?
3.
That sounds about right. Oh, get it.
You have Tampa Bay over Guardians in 3? Because
Me?
you said you have the Guardians going to the World Series. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's.
I have Cleveland over Tampa. Here's my reasoning. Um, the Guardians they had Manuel Clase. I think he's gonna do really well in the postseason. Um, Tristan McKenzie. Who else you got? You got Shane, Justin Bieber. He's been really good this year. I know you're on. Oh, Spider Tack. He had a pretty good year. I'm not gonna lie.
He did have a pretty
Thanks.
good. Okay, he had a rough start.
He did have a rough
I
start.
think my claims were justified.
Fair enough.
Like
Um,
I think it's clear to me that he was using Spider Tack and that he had to stop and that he was struggling and then he finally figured out how to do his thing again and so he's back. I think that makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say Cleveland in 3.
Cleveland. in
It'll
3.
be close. You have Tampa in 3. I have Cleveland in 3. I think their pitchers are just like better.
I do. Yeah, maybe. I don't. The Guardians' bats are a little strange. They come from the worst division in baseball, maybe. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of depends on which division you want to say is the worst in baseball. And
Yeah.
the Rays
It's the
have
Sunshine.
Tyler Glasnow coming back, which
Yeah.
could be
Mm-hmm.
huge or could be awful. Because a lot of times when these guys come back, they suck. So if they put him in for a start, and he just gets wrecked, like it's a 3-game series. It's basically over. And also the Rays have been losing. So
He was gone because he couldn't use his sticky. So we'll see
Who?
if he's used to not using it anymore. 'Cause it's been
Glasnow?
a while. Yeah.
He was
Said
at
he couldn't
didn't
grip
he
the ball.
didn't he break something?
Yeah, because he said he couldn't grip the ball because there was no sticky.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So
Isn't he a
hopefully he's
2-pitch
built up
guy?
without it. I think he mains 2 pitches. He might have 3.
Let me look at this.
I'd be like a Kershaw-esque guy. Like main only has 3 in his utility belt.
I think he's a fastball curveball guy.
Yeah, he definitely throws a lot of fastball, and I think curveball as well. Yeah, curveball.
Huh. Interesting. I kind of want to see what this ESPN article has to say about my picks, but that's
You're wrong.
for another time.
Yeah, so I'd say Tampa. I think they're magical, and they'll get it done.
Fair. Tyler Glasnow has started 2 games this season. Didn't know that he started 2 games this
And he
season.
gave up 15 runs each.
His
It was
ERA was 1.35. So like he was solid.
He was doing his job.
yeah.
Yeah, he did what he needed
He's all right.
to. He has a slider now, so that's a new-ish development.
New tool.
New tool in the kit for 2021. He started throwing it.
Okay.
Was it effective?
No.
It was not. It was his worst pitch by far. That's cool. I'm not gonna lie. If you put him into the postseason, you say don't fucking throw the slider, my guy, and then all is well.
Talk to Kershaw. It sounds like.
I,
Just man.
man, Tyler Glasnow's stats are weird. Like he looks good, but in the past he's been kind of bad. But the expected slugging on his fastball is 800, which isn't real great.
He's a weird guy, man. I don't know how to figure him out. I don't know if he's good or bad.
The Rays are a strange team.
Yeah.
Nothing they do makes sense, and they go to
Doesn't
the
make
playoffs
sense,
every
but
single
they won.
year.
The opponent's like, wait, what's going on? And before they know it, they're out of the playoffs.
That's interesting. His ERA last season was 2.6.
That's pretty good.
And then
I would
2020,
take that.
fluke year. We don't need to talk about
Bad
that.
by Dodger standards.
Mickey Mouse year.
In 2019, his ERA was 1.8.
That's really good.
So maybe he figured something out, and now he's not bad anymore. Oh, that roughly corresponds with when he went to Tampa. So that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with my Rays over Guardians in 3 pick. And then
Rays over. Okay. So we
Mariners,
have
Blue Jays.
I got the Mariners, man.
Who is it? Mariners versus Toronto.
Yeah.
I would pick Toronto, but I just think the upset's right there.
Do you have it in 3 or 2?
Honestly, it might be 2, you know? Like if
Yeah.
the Mariners bats are fully like putting the hits up, I think it's gonna be 2. I think
I
the
forgot
Blues
to
just
consider
don't respond.
something. The Guardians are the home team, and all 3 games will be played at the Guardians.
Yep.
They don't
wait,
travel.
really?
Uh-huh.
It's a long
They don't
way to
travel.
go.
Oh, that factors into it.
That does factor into a little bit. And I'm less confident. I might have to go Guardians in 3. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, pick the home team.
Well, it's obviously an advantage, and this series is gonna.
Yeah.
I don't see either team having much of an advantage. So
After knowing that, I might say Guardians just because
Yeah,
that
jump on the bandwagon.
I'm gonna stick with Tampa Bay. Let me
I
look
might-
at
I might
Tampa Bay's
switch.
splits.
I'm gonna switch, but I'll still keep it 3. Like it'll still be a battle.
It'll be close
Yeah,
for
it's still
sure.
gonna be a battle.
I think it's gonna come down to that last game.
Yes.
The Rays stink on the road. The Rays are under 500 on the road.
But like they never even have fans at home, so will this be any different?
The
It is
Rays. I thought you were
different.
talking about like, the
Yeah,
Guardians.
It is
No, the
different.
Guardians have a decent, like not a
Guardians have
lot,
fans. They pull up.
not amazing, but like for playoffs and all that, like they'll
Playoffs,
be
they will
there.
show up.
They'll be there. Yeah,
I promise.
I can guarantee that there will be fans.
Yeah, I really want to see a Rays like home game, just like to watch it. Be kind of funny.
Yeah. So the Rays at home are 51 and 30, and away they're 35 and 46.
Yeah,
I
I think I got the
Not
Guardians
I
down
didn't change it.
because I knew it was gonna be close,
I
but
forgot to look into that.
that tipped the scales just a little back the other way for me.
Yeah, I thought they would like go back for like a day, but
Yeah, but I guess not.
That's how it works,
wild
right?
card weekend.
I guess
I
that
didn't-
makes sense considering
make
that
that up,
like
right?
the rate or the Guardians already won the division, so I guess that's their advantage is they just get entire home field advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like I guess it's dumb because then the other team doesn't even play at the stadium
They get
at
to-
all for the
Yeah,
like
but then the other wild card team gets 3 games at
the
3
Rays
games at
of
home.
like fans could literally just not see any Rays postseason games because they're all in Cleveland. Like if they get eliminated, the Rays don't even get to see one game of their
Isn't the
team.
DS also isn't the DS 3 games home team, 2 games away team?
I think so.
Is that how they're doing it?
So
It might be
Typically, that's not how it
first
is.
first two are at home for the top team, and then one game is away, and then if they win that one's away. So it goes home, home, away, away, and then home.
That's typically how it was last year, so I don't know if
Interesting.
they changed that. But
Yeah.
normally it's been 2 away, and then 2 home, and then
it
1 away.
is. It is.
Come
So
on.
2 at home and then 2 away and then 1 home. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, wouldn't it be really funny if the Rays won the wild card round and then
Oh my god!
oh my god, bro. Pay attention.
We're on a baseball
Supposed to
podcast,
really
buddy.
get-
Freaking clown.
Oh my god. Alright, yeah, anyways.
Um where were we? Oh, so I think the Blue Jays have the home field advantage for
Yeah, that makes
for that
sense.
series, but I
So they were higher up in the wild
honestly
card.
don't really care.
I don't know. There, I think
Still a fact.
because I don't think it'll be close. Like I think they're actually just gonna like destroy.
Seattle.
Yeah, I think Seattle's gonna just take over.
Seattle and 2. That's my
Blue-
pick.
Blue Jays are gonna be like, oh, yeah, that's also my pick. Seattle
Okay,
too.
I have Seattle in 3. Let's stick with the American League for now. How much
Yeah,
time are
let's
we at?
move on to the DS.
Sorry, let's do the National League wild card round.
Never
'cause
mind,
we
let's
might
go over that.
we might run out of time.
Come on, Neil.
My bad. I'm the only one that can see how long we've been going. Well, I guess you guys can because
I
it's on my
can't
screen. Philly, St. Louis. I think the answer is clear. Cardinals in 2.
Cardinals in 2.
I think Cardinals in 3, just because I think the Phillies are just gonna win one game.
The Fightin' Phils.
That's fair.
I think they're gonna win the second game or something, like because they have a good starter. But like it's gonna be a clear domination for like most of it.
What do you think, Andrew?
Well, not to plagiarize, but same with Neil. They have Nola and Wheeler. I think one of them gets a win. But that game that they get is going to be like a nail biter. Like they'll barely win that game.
Yeah, it'll just be
Cardinals are
because
for
the
sure
starter
gonna
held
win.
the Cardinals for a little bit, you know.
Yeah. At least
And
they get their one win in 11 years.
Yeah.
that one will be 3 games in St. Louis.
That's insane.
And then we have the most important wild card round series.
Definitely.
Padres at Mets. That's how it will go because the Mets have 101 wins. Thoughts?
Damn. I think the Mets just destroy in 3 because like the Padres are just bad. Like the
In
color
3?
scheme kind of tells you like what's going on.
In
Like
2 or
brown,
3?
like 3.
Huh.
All right, sorry, 2, 2. I think it's
Okay.
just literally like nothing.
You said absolutely obliterate in 3, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Sorry, I meant 2. I think it's just 2 wins and they're like done. Like, it's just not gonna be much.
I'm Mets over Padres in 3.
Mets over Padres in 3. Um, controversial pick, but get the Padres.
No.
Yes. Here's my logic.
Dude, watch. He's gonna be right.
Grom, sorry, Jacob did garbage. He's been struggling
Jacob the
as of
garbage.
late. Right?
Yeah, that's where I see them getting a win. Like,
I'm really not gonna like. He's a great pitcher, right? Padres. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? And if you're gonna figure it out, it's gonna be now. I don't know. I think the Padres. It'll be in 3, but I think. Come on, Russ. God, this guy sucks. Yeah, I think the Padres just somehow they figure it out. It'll be a really tight series. I got Padres over Mets in 3.
I do believe it'll be a really tight series. One of the Mets
Really
starters
tight.
has to choke. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's clear to me that DeGrom and Scherzer will do well, or DeGrom and Bassett will
They
do well,
suck.
or Scherzer and Bassett will do well. But
Yeah,
like,
2 of 3 will be good.
2 or 3 will be good, and if it's Bassett that does bad, he actually won't get to do bad because it'll only be 2 games. So that's kind of what I
mean,
foresee.
Like last year, like Scherzer, sure he had a few good outings, but like he wasn't the greatest in the postseason. I mean, I don't know. He's 38 years old. Neil, this is his time for his career-ending injury. Okay.
Yeah, send your prayers up.
Yeah.
I
prayers for
wonder
that.
if we've told the podcast about that.
We have. I
Okay.
think so.
That was a wild
dude-
free agency.
Like, are you guys really trusting like 2 dinosaurs
Who
to
was
pitch and like, I mean, they're great players, but like Joe Musgrove, he's had a great season. Yu Darvish is always good. You know, and Blake Snell, he's been better as of late. It'll be tight, but
I mean,
Padres, in my opinion, have a better
you're
offense.
right about that, but Jacob deGrom is still widely considered the best pitcher in MLB. Like, widely
Yeah.
considered. So,
I don't know though.
I guess we'll
Like, if-
find out.
If they
But
weren't struggling, I would probably pick the Mets.
the bats aren't struggling for the Mets, though.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
kind
the
of where I
thing.
see them taking the lead, like taking the win there, guaranteed. Anyway,
Yep.
we have time, so we can move on to the American League Division Series, and it'll be Guardians at Yankees in traditional 5-game style. And I see people trying to get this to be a 7-game series, which is the stupidest thing ever.
You want what? Do you think that the DS should be extended to 7?
No, I don't. I think it should not be extended to 7.
That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, but that's what people are saying.
Yeah, people. This is the Twitter take. I'm on MLB Twitter, like I'm in the MLB Twitter
yeah.
space. That's what people are saying. But I know that it is like more baseball, and more baseball is good. But also, the NLCS has to be more important than the NLDS.
Yeah, I don't. It wouldn't make sense to make it 7 because like it's a sub series. Like I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't think it.
Yankees over
Make
Guardians
the CS
in
7
4.
games and the CS 9 games. Best of 9.
Best of 9 World Series.
Best of 9.
Best
You know
of
what?
21.
Make it best of 18.
They used to do it best of 9.
Did they?
We can
Yeah,
go
look it up.
back.
Yeah, make it that. That'd be
Best
cool.
of 21.
I'll never stop playing.
You have to win 11 games. Anyway,
Oh my
I have the
God.
Yankees
That
over
would
the
be
Guardians
insane.
in 4.
The playoffs would last until December.
Yeah, they would. We're already trending that direction anyway, so that's fine. My reasoning for the Yankees to win is they're good, and the Guardians are not that good. The Yankees have 99 wins, and the Guardians have way less than that. I don't actually know. Yeah, they have way less wins by 7, so it's... I just have the Yankees winning. The Yankees got weapons.
I think think the Yankees, they'll get over it, but like I think it's gonna be in five. Because I
Yeah,
think
same.
like they're not just as solid of a team, and it's gonna take like every starter of theirs and all their pitching to like get there. So I don't
Yeah.
think it'll be like a one and done. Like, oh yeah, that was easy. It's gonna be like, dude, we just barely got out of that. Like, we're good, but like, I think the pitching might scuffle a bit. So especially, I mean, those Yankee games, like the fans are electric, so I think that'll help too for the home games.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the Yankees are totally hit or miss. I think the rest period, the 5 days of rest that they have, will either ruin them or will return them
Save them.
to the beginning of the season form where they're like elite. Either is gonna happen, and I have them returning to the beginning of the season. That's my prediction.
That's fair.
Because Aaron Judge will be back to being rested, recovered. I mean, what was his pace at the beginning of the season? It was ridiculous. It was like 75, right? Home runs.
He was like, yeah, on pace to like get high
Yeah.
60s, I think, or something.
So,
I mean, you saw him getting hot towards the end of the season, and then he kind of cooled off. So like,
yeah.
even based off what you saw for the last month, you're like, dude, this guy's gonna hit like 66 or 67, and then he kind of cooled off and only got to 62. So, I mean, based off what you see and based off estimations, it looked like he's gonna be hot. But he's just like a power tool, for the Yankees.
And Cole is good. Even if Cole gives up 3 runs, he'll still go 8 innings, which is
Strikes out a lot of guys.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of strikeouts, and he's really efficient. And he doesn't really care if the manager tells him to come out of the game because he has a lot of pitches. He says, "Nah, I'm going back," and then he keeps pitching, which is really good for the Yankees' pen. And they'll be well rested for later games in that series. So that's kind of what I foresee happening. And they have other guys that are pretty okay. Obviously not the greatest, but
They're serviceable.
yeah. They do a good enough job, especially against a Guardians-type offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those other two teams that they're gonna face are good teams, but like, and honestly, people kept saying like the Yankees are like five heading it because like they're like really like they scuffled at the end, so they're like, oh my God, they're in the second spot, and that's like an easier spot. Like, look how much better it is. But like in my opinion, like the Mariners and the Blue Jays are less scary just because like their pitching isn't as like the Blue Jays pitching isn't as complete, and the offense is not as good as like these powerhouses, and then the Mariners are the third wild card, and they like kind of just barely got in. So, and I feel like the Rays just like they're just magical. They tend to win. They literally made the World Series in 2020, and the Guardians are just like I know they're in a bad division, but like their offense has been really good, and I think like whoever they face is, in my opinion, going to be harder than the other wild card because I think that one
That's totally
you have these
reasonable.
easier teams. So I think the Yankees. It'll be a more fun series because they're both like really good teams. Kind of like it's almost like the underdog with the big dog Yankees, and it's gonna like be a lot of energy because they're both good teams, no matter who goes out of that wild card.
I mean,
It's gonna be a very fun series. I'm literally like right with you, Neil. I think it's gonna be 5. Like by the skin of their teeth, the Yankees are just barely gonna beat the Guardians. I don't know if let's say the Guardians they had a couple like more power hitters. Could be a different story. I got Yankees in 5 over the Indians. That's right. I said the Indians in 2022.
wow, that's crazy because that's actually
Throwback
not
moment.
like I don't care. It's not racist or anything.
Yeah,
But that's
no.
also just not what they're called now. It's just wrong.
They changed their name.
It's like calling it the football team. It's just wrong. It's not right. Anyway, I think every single game will be close. I think it's going to be one of those series, but I think the Yankees will pull it off in 4.
Okay. I mean, 4 is reasonable if you just think the Yankees will be on a tear and like do it.
I
So.
mean, I think every game is going to come down to that ninth inning. And I think the bases are going to be loaded, and Clay Holmes is going to come into the game, and he's going to get the save. And then the next game, it's going to be a 1-run game that the Yankees pull off. And then the next game, It's gonna be Emmanuel Clase that gets the save, and they get the win, and it like literally comes down to the last out in the ninth inning, like 4 games in a row. I think that's what's gonna happen. So we all have Yankees.
If the Guardians pull it off.
Yeah, we all have Yanks. I think they finally make it to the ALCS this year.
They should.
And then we have
Don't be surprised.
Seattle
You have Seattle.
in Houston. No, I don't have Seattle. Seattle's just,
Seattle.
We have Seattle versus Houston. That's the
3.
series. Seattle over Houston in 3. No, I'm just kidding. I have Astros over Mariners in 3.
I have Astros over New Mariners in 4.
Literally the same. Neil, are we like sharing? Are we like telepathically like?
I think me and Andrew are like the average baseball guy, and we're just thinking the same.
Yeah, literally.
I'm
About this
doing my
episode.
best to make controversial takes to make the show interesting.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Man, just being honest.
I'm the producer. I'm the guy who has interesting takes to make things interesting. I really.
That was Andrew's role at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I delivered. You know.
You
Got,
did.
Like 20 viewers our first episode.
And then moving on to the National League. My voice kind of broke there. It's okay. St. Louis in Atlanta. Because no one picked the Phils, right?
No one picked the Phils.
No one picked the Phils. Yeah. So yeah, I think for that one,
That one's a little bit of a toss-up, I'm not going to lie.
that's a Braves home field advantage, right?
Yep.
Braves have home field.
Yeah, I mean I've like, because like last year we played those guys.
In Drew's, yeah.
That place is intimidating, dude.
It
like,
really is. And they have really long outfield where, like, people consistently hit home runs in Truist Park that are just outs.
Yeah.
Just see,
insane.
when the Mets pitcher got like taken out.
Yeah,
It's
scary.
completely dark.
Uh-huh.
Like that's freaking sick. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, when the lights go off and like they do the chop, like that
is actually so sick.
It's intimidating when you're the opponent. Like
the Dodgers said something like that.
I think the Braves just like, I think it'll be a battle. I think it might be 5.
I think it's Braves and
most
5.
likely 4. But yeah, I think the Braves come out on top.
I got Braves in 4.
If I have to pick an NL upset though, that's where I pick it. If I had to pick. I don't know in what world that would ever happen, but if I had to pick an upset, I think the Cardinals do it.
Interesting.
Like they just somehow come over.
Cardinals are like that. I said it at the beginning of the season, and I said it again. The Cardinals, they just, I don't know. They like win 14 games in a row some years to make the playoffs. This year, Albert Pujols gets to 700 after not doing anything.
He's on
prior
steroids.
Or they gave him like literal wiffle balls to
beach balls.
Yeah, I have Braves in 5. Truist Park is scary, but I think St. Louis can and might win both of their home games.
Yeah, I think 4 I think they're gonna win a game, maybe 2, but I wouldn't bet on it. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough battle. Like that's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Andrew, do you have any thoughts? Any thoughts?
What's that? No. Don't be surprised if the Cardinals get rolling, because I'm telling you, there's voodoo magic in St. Louis. Okay.
That's what I've been saying.
Cardinals. St. Louis not only steals cars, okay, one of the highest crime rates in the U.S. They also steal wins. And look out for St. Louis, okay? I'm telling you.
What the hell? Okay.
Trust me, this big 3, I don't even know if you want to call it big. Yadier, Adam Waino, and then you got Pujols.
Hey man, they're big in like
some black magic on them, okay?
Waino's coming back, right? Like,
they're big in physical.
What's that?
Waino hasn't announced his retirement, right? Like, I didn't miss that.
Yeah, he hasn't, but he's like a dinosaur, so I'm implying that
pitchers
he's
can
gonna
get
retire.
old. Anyway, Cards are really well-rounded.
Cardinals are really well-rounded. I don't know.
So are the Braves. I don't.
Cardinal. The thing with the Cardinals though is that they have a shit ton of like pitchers. Like their pitchers are
Their
good.
pitchers are good.
Quintana's good.
I mean,
Montgomery, he's good.
Fried is good. Fried will start game 1
Will start.
because they have 5 days.
I really want to pick the Cardinals for some.
Screw
it. Cardinals in 5. Okay.
Ooh, first real controversial pick.
Yeah, we're throwing it a little bit different here. Cardinals in 5.
Cardinals in 5. Wow.
I see that happening. That's not really out of the realm. So
I'm not a Dodgers fan, so I can't say this, but if most of the upsets like happen, it's gonna be involving the Dodgers because I've lived in Choke City for like a lot of my time. I'm not gonna say it because I can't say it, so I'm avoiding it. But like out of character right now, I'm just gonna say that's where a lot of the upsets will happen. I'm not gonna call any of them, but yeah.
Yeah, the Braves rotation is kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie.
It is, dude. It's scary, dude, in that place. Like,
But
I'm
so
actually,
is
of all
Cardinals.
places, I hate going over there in postseason. Like, it's just so intimidating. I'm like, dude, we're gonna lose. We're about to lose, dude.
Dodgers, Braves, NLCS.
It was scary last year, dude. Like, I was
terrifying.
I was wetting the bed at night thinking about the Braves, bro.
Miles Michaelis has been
Braves.
solid.
He's been good.
These cards, they're good.
I also want to put this out there. What was it? 2019 Cardinals Braves. Cardinals put up like 15 runs in a must-win game. So Cardinals, they have beaten the Braves in the past. Completely different team, but you could argue that this team is a little bit.
And then we have the series that you guys were crying about all week. You needed the Mets to win. Mets, Dodgers, unless your name is Andrew, and then this series is Padres, Mets, or Padres, Dodgers. Don't really know what I'm saying there. But I have Mets over Dodgers in 5.
Ooh.
I do. That's my take.
That would suck. I would actually cry if that happened.
I mean,
Angry. Okay, I have the Dodgers over the Mets, obviously, but in 5.
Oh, you have it in 5?
In 5.
Alright,
It
this
will
one's
be
gonna
a
come down to
tough
the wire.
matchup,
This
man.
is gonna be a
Like-
hell of a series, especially if the Mets get going.
Like you said, the Mets have 2 like phenomenal starters. You would say 3, actually. But like I think one of them's just not gonna quite have their day, right? So you got like 2 amazing stars probably out of what's going on there, and then the rest there's not much going on. So I think the Mets will get 2 wins, but I don't think I don't know in what order, how it's gonna go down. But the Mets will get 2 wins, and the Dodgers will come out on top with their home field advantage and their skill.
You think the Dodgers get blown out like bad in one game?
Yeah, well, okay, I don't think it's gonna happen.
happens.
It's possible.
The amount of times I've seen the Dodgers just not fucking hit the ball in the postseason, like I think they could get blown out in one of those games because sometimes they just like go up to the plate and they got like a broomstick trying to hit like a freaking ping pong ball. It's so annoying.
And I can also see an alternative where the Mets get absolutely, like, it's not even close
Also
for a
that.
game. Like, if
One
Gonsolin,
team-
or, any of the other 1,000 Dodgers pitchers that pitch extremely well, they could just get the Mets. And
Like,
the Dodgers'
the
offense is
Dodgers-
enough where it could be like 25-0 by the end of a game.
Dodgers have like one of the highest run differentials ever, so
Yeah.
they could run the scoreboard. Like that's totally doable.
Run it up.
Anyway,
Watch Austin Barnes go like 4 for 4.
NL MVP,
Happen. No.
NL postseason MVP. It'd be funny. Okay, do you want to get to the CS?
let's get to the CS.
I gotta do my pick.
Oh, Andrew, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Padres over.
Dodgers over Padres in 3. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Dodgers. Walk
Padres
it
are
off
bad, and the Dodgers
in
are not.
PED Park. They walk it off in PED Park.
Man,
And,
I feel bad for all the Padres fans out there. That,
Yeah.
like, not all of the Padres fans. I feel bad for, like, me if I was a Padres fan instead of an Angels fan. Like, if I'm a little kid and I'm like, like growing up, and I'm like watching Padres baseball because it's so exciting, and then Fernando Tatis gets suspended for PEDs. That's like awful. That's awful for the game. Anyway, yeah, I don't foresee a Padres run.
I do. 'Cause I know
No,
the
that's
MLB
not really a
season
run
been
though.
late.
Like winning the wild card series is not a playoff run. It's not like a
It's
significant
unlikely.
playoff run.
I know it, but this MLB season has been really wacky. So expect the unexpected.
I could
Anyways,
see.
Dodgers free over the Padres. All I gotta say.
Okay, now let's move on to the ALCS.
Yes.
I have Astros over Yankees in 5. I think this one is not even going to be close.
I think Astros over Yankees, right?
Astros over Yankees in 5.
Yeah, I see that happening.
Yep.
I think the Astros they're just a better team, man.
It's well-rounded.
The Astros just do everything that you need to do to
I
win
hate the
baseball
Astros.
games. I hate the Astros. I'm tired of them
They're
winning
just
the
like-
West every single year. But they're
You
gonna.
have to
They're
respect
just-
them, though.
They're like that evil villain, and they're just. I mean, it decreases every year. They're just more of like
Like the
everyone
Joker.
forgets. Yeah. Like that element kind of goes away as every season goes on. That crazy team that just gets away with everything. But like, they're just honestly like a really good team, and I think the Yankees are good. They're just not as well rounded. Like that's what I was saying about the Mariners. This is just a Mariners Blue Jays matchup, but just like imagine the teams both just like ×5 the talent.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. One is just more well rounded than the other, and the other one just has a better lineup, like in terms of hitting, and the more well rounded team's gonna win. Same logic for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you have a pick, Andrew?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. I think the Yankees, they're going to get one win in New York. Then they have the parade like the Padres. But the Astros, they're going to get it done. It just kind of makes sense. Oh, my.
It's gonna be really funny when all the Yankees fans are upset because it's kind of like it's a rematch, the rematch of 2019.
Yep.
So it's gonna be funny to see that, like like the whole like they're gonna be all booing and it's gonna be so toxic, but like and all the
I
Yankees
see a
fans
couple
are
of
so bad.
fights. I'm all in on the fights. Like I know that they're not great and that you shouldn't fight other people, but it's really entertaining.
I think it'll happen. I think there'll be some fights.
And thanks to Phil Nevin, the Mariners are in the postseason. The Mariners were
Yeah.
bad, and then the Angels threw a baseball at them, and they're good now. It's crazy. It's really crazy how that worked the opposite
go.
of how we were hoping. So I have Braves Mets in the NLCS.
That's gonna be
That'd
electric.
be sick if that happens.
Too bad it won't happen.
I have Mets in 7.
Ooh. Oh, my God.
Damn.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
You still have the Mets.
I have
Damn,
Mets in
okay.
7. Remember that hypothetical question I asked you at the beginning, like before we started recording? I'm like, hypothetically, if someone was stupid enough to have an Astros Mets World Series, who would win? I was actually asking because that was me.
Should have known.
Did you have this weird hypothetical?
Yep.
Okay, for me, it is Dodgers Braves. It's a rematch, and I'm
And the
shitting
Braves
the
win.
bed because
And the
the
Braves.
Braves. I don't have the Braves winning because of one element. We took their superpower. Okay, it's a rematch, but we just took the
Oh,
Infinity
yeah.
Stone instead. Okay, it's the exact same matchup, but we're better and we're healthier. Scherzer didn't, pitch 500 innings. And he's not there. To
Dave
be
Roberts
upset.
is a clown for that one. I'm not
That
even
was
gonna
a
lie.
clown
I
move.
hate the Dodgers, but Dave Roberts is a clown for
The
that
Dodgers
one.
last year basically knew they were gonna lose. They just because they had like 3 starters, but it was just how long can we pretend we're gonna win? And that's why Scherzer was going so much, and Bueller and all this shit because we were like, okay, how much can
I
we just
don't
pretend everything's
understand
fine?
why Scherzer closed that game.
That was dumb. I don't get it.
Stupid.
That was
That's
it.
like Kershaw in 2019. Like,
That
why would you have a
sealed the
starter?
deal, I think. I think that sealed the deal for you guys. Anyway,
hmm This time it's the same matchup except a player has switched sides,
The
and
dark side.
Yep, we're better. We have more pitching. The pitching
Yeah,
isn't
but the
like
Braves have
absolutely
Olsen.
unhealthy. The Braves have a lesser first baseman. Yeah, that's scary. I'm honestly more scared of the freaking stadium than the team itself because that stadium's intimidating. But like, we're just better, you know. And I know they have all these rookies, that are pretty cool. But like, we have 111 wins, baby, and we have one of your players, and our pitching's actually healthy.
Don't
And
they
I
have
think I
Kenley?
think it'll. They have Kenley, yeah.
So they have one of your players. Checkmate.
Well, they have one of our players that
They
no one even
have they
likes.
have a terrible player that no one likes.
Wow, that's scary. Okay, that's like trading a queen for a freaking like pawn. Anyway, um, so yeah, we're gonna win that, and I don't know, man. It's gonna be a tough one. That'll be a fun series, even if it's the Mets or the Dodgers. But
Did the
like,
Dodgers have home field advantage last time?
I don't think so because they didn't win the division.
yeah, they were
Because
a
they were
wild
the
card.
wild card team, so
I
They
they're
were a
think
not
wild
the
card.
wild.
they
So they
had.
have home field advantage this time.
They will. They
Mm.
clinched it all the way till the World Series. So
Yeah, they're chilling.
I think I think we win it in. I don't want to say
It's got
seven,
to
but
be
it might
6 or
take
7.
7. I wanted to say 6, but I think the Braves are going to make it 7. Sadly, I just don't think we'll be that dominant enough. But I think it'll be 7, and the Dodgers come on top.
Thoughts,
Yeah.
Andrew?
Um, Dodgers Cardinals. Am a crazier matchup.
A wild card rematch.
Yes. Historically, Cardinals have shat on the Dodgers in the postseason. Kershaw, he gets lit up. What was it, like 2014, 2015? Um, Recently, the Dodgers are
Good.
petty of the Cardinals. Okay.
hmm
Now, I really want to say the Cardinals because of history, but I think the Dodgers, they get it done. Dodgers in 6 over the Cardinals. It's going to be tight. I think they lose a game in St. Louis, but I also think they win a game in St. Louis. The Dodgers in 6 over the Cardinals.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it'll be tight.
I don't see the Cardinals. Like in that matchup,
I'm
I
ready
don't see
to
the
be
Cardinals
so
making
right
it close.
with
Yeah,
all
you're
these
probably
picks.
gonna be right, but
Watch, he's gonna be 100% accurate
Just
in all
watch
this.
it happen.
It'll be
are we
so
doing?
funny.
Oh, we'll discuss this after, because we're kind of
Okay.
running low on time. And then we
Yeah,
have the
we're
World
just on the last
Series.
one.
We have
Yep.
the World Series. I have Houston Mets. Crazy. I think this one could actually be really close,
Houston
and I
versus
think it could go either way, depending
We
on
all
how
have
each team is
Houston.
playing. And I have Houston winning in 6 or 7. I can't decide
Watch
whether it'll be
Houston
6
not
or
make
7.
it. That'd be so insane. Watch them be knocked out in the DS, and we're all wrong.
Yeah, they lose to Seattle.
That'd be so insane. No one would have predicted that. That would have come out of nowhere. Anyway, um, yeah, I got the Astros and the Dodgers. Finally, we get to face them. We get the rematch, and this
Do
time
you
no
get the win?
cameras. Do we get the win? I honestly think that this is going to be like if Dodgers and Braves was like on a rank of difficulty, it'd be like a 10. And I think this series will be like a 9. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
equally as difficult, but like just a notch a little easier. But it's gonna have that element of like they're finally facing each other, like a 5 year it took us 5 years to get back here, but here we are
Yeah.
facing each other, and I think it's gonna be sick, but I think the Dodgers get it in 6. I think they complete it and they get the World Series.
a
Cool.
good take.
Interesting. Your thoughts?
Um,
Cardinals,
Dodgers
Yankees?
in 7 over the Astros. It's gonna be tight. Um, I think Justin Verlander gets us. I think the Astros, they end up all injecting steroids, so they're like actually just destroying the ball in Minute Maid Park. Dodgers fans have to hear that stupid train every time they hit a home
I
run.
hated that
If
train,
if the
dude.
Literally
World
gave me
Series
That
nightmares.
train gave me
happens,
nightmares in
It
5
was,
years
it was
ago.
awful.
we have to have. If we ever do watch parties, that would be cool. But I don't know if we'll have like time for that. We'll see.
Yeah.
If we ever do watch parties, we can't actually show the game. But I can't wait until it's the Astros Dodgers World Series, and they play the whistle, and you guys just start like seizing, and you fall down on the floor.
Oh my god, yeah.
Dude, I had nightmares about that godforsaken train. Oh my god.
It's fucking
And
awful.
that one game when it was like 13-12, and I just heard
Yes, dude.
over and over and
Oh my
over.
god.
Oh, I was losing my mind. Oh, I just
I
wanted it
think I
to
almost
end.
started crying. Like
Dude, I think I had a heart attack that game. Like,
was
oh my
so
god.
like, come on.
Awful.
Um,
Yeah,
I think the World
this series
Series
is gonna be
matchup is
very
going to be
tough.
good.
What's
Yeah.
that?
The World Series is good. There's good teams in this. So
Mhm.
even if those teams that are terrible, like the Phillies, even if the Phillies make it, um, by that
Watch it
point
be.
they'll have proven themselves against the Braves and the
Yeah.
Cardinals and the Dodgers, and it's like, oh, this team's actually really good.
Actually legit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's
Once
gonna be
that
a great World
happens,
Series.
they go the 7th seed or the 6th seed, whatever, and they just like go on this
hey,
crazy.
they're
It's
the
gonna be
fighting
a,
Phils.
it'll be a great World Series, but it's just gonna be absolutely magical if it can complete like the storyline. Like if it's a, like the Yankees or the Astros and the CS, or like the
That would be
Dodgers and the
crazy.
Astros and like once these like storylines are made and like completed, like the rematches of like, because the Astros are the villain.
The
So like
Astros are
when
the
the
villain.
rematches against the Astros complete, like that's the storyline. If the
A
teams like,
Mariners
Dark.
World Series. There's so many storylines here.
like there's just
Mariners World
if
Series
any of them
run, the odds of
complete.
that are astronomically low, but that would be an insane storyline. Like
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay Dodgers, that's a storyline.
Yeah.
Braves Dodgers, CS.
Like if all these storylines happen, which I guess there's a chance they wouldn't, but like in the majority chance that these happen, like it's gonna be a sick
That
postseason.
would be so cool.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
One of them has to happen.
Yeah,
There's a
one
0% chance
storyline
that we
will
miss
1
all of them.
billion, like
happen.
in one multiverse, the Phillies they win the World Series.
In one multiverse, the Dodgers have won every World Series ever.
They're the Yankees of baseball.
How
Yeah,
how close are other teams to the Yankees in total World Series?
I think the Cardinals have 11.
I think the
The
Giants have a
Cardinals are good.
lot.
Giants have like 8, I think.
No, they have like in the teens, I think. I'm pretty sure. The Yankees
Okay.
have the Cardinals
The
11.
Yankees
Oh,
have
you're right.
27, the Cardinals have 11, the A's have 9.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, the
see
Giants have
that
8.
one
I thought they had
coming.
more.
Giants have 8. They bent to 20 though.
The
That's
Dodgers
kind of
technically have
spooky.
8, if we're all counting that one.
Let's be real. They bent out. They've won 8.
Counterpoint. Sure, you guys won the Astros World Series. The counterpoint to that is 2020.
Hey, that wasn't cheating. That was just a shortened season,
I
okay?
would
Bro,
for sure
Manfred did cheat
teams
when he made
teams
6.
under
World
500
Series
made
for
it into the playoffs,
2021.
bro. You
Okay, yes, but
cannot
we had to
convince
play
me.
those teams, okay? We had to play more matchups and we still won,
Bro,
okay?
Yeah.
we had to play the Marlins that were under 500.
We played the Brewers. We played great
The
teams. What do you
yeah.
mean? You act like we played like the freaking 2022 A's. Like, okay, we played good teams.
I think the A's were
The
like
A's were good.
50
A's were
and
actually
10.
in the
I think they
playoffs.
were
They were
actually
good.
like they would have made the playoffs if it was an
No,
actual
they
playoffs.
did. They made the playoffs last 2020.
That was wacky.
Um,
Would
But
you
the
trade
Fish
in
made
the
it into the
2020
playoffs.
World Series for the 2017 one?
Huh?
huh?
I would.
What?
What?
Would you trade in the 2017 World Series for the 2021?
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat,
So you
dude.
don't get
That
absolutely
team was
clowned on?
I know.
that 2017 team was magical and it deserved
Literally
that
magical.
trophy.
Cody
Sadly,
Bellinger.
it's tainted and no one deserves it at all. So.
Like
Ah.
it just made perfect sense.
As Rob Manfred said, it's just a piece of metal. It's just a piece of metal.
Yeah, you know what, guys? What are we arguing about? It's just a
And
piece.
you know what? That remark will conclude our episode. It was nice.
It's just a piece
But
of metal.
remember, the postseason doesn't matter. Don't watch. Rob Manfred hates baseball. Goodbye.
We'll see you guys after the wild card, right?
We'll see you after the wild card. That should be a Monday night. There will be no
See what
games that
happens,
Monday night.
guys.
And we'll keep you up to date with what happens. I will try to watch as many games as possible. I will be on flights though, so I don't know. Hopefully, my airlines have free stuff, and I will be active on Twitter during the baseball games. I will be tweeting updates. So if you can watch the game, follow the Twitter. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's _Jackaboy. Goodbye, everybody.